Right, okay, so finally, to wrap it all up, shall we say, we're going to think of some specific examples.
Oh.
Yes, so I'm probably going to regret bringing this one up because this is an example of good and bad gaming at the same time. And we're both in it.
Oh.
Do you remember that Forgotten Realms campaign we played where I played a Dwarven Fighter and you were playing a Barbarian?
I certainly do, yes. Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
What happened the first time your character died?
If I hear 3-0 during this conversation, I'm so battering you off screen.
Maybe let me get a hat trick on you.
What happened the first time I died?
Yeah, do you remember?
To be honest, no.
Right, okay. Basically what happened is that we were going through this maze, this dungeon, and we found a magical greatsword, and him being the barbarian and being the only person that was really comfortable carrying that kind of weapon took it. What we didn't know was an evil artifact, magic item, wanted to kill everyone that knew how to cast magic. It was a mage bane or something.
Yes, it was a mage bane sword, intelligent.
And what basically it did was it passed an ego check, which if those of you who don't play D&D immediately means it took over his faculties. And made him attack the other player characters. Now, what the GM at the time did was say to you, right, you're now being possessed by this blade, I want you to roleplay the desires of this blade.
Yes.
So you, with all the gusto one can manage, and actually with very little glee, shall we say, although you did enjoy yourself, obviously.
Right, yes.
Very little glee, went around trying to butcher every single person in the party.
Pretty much, the wizard had a very hard time with him.
Yeah. That killed you in the end.
Yes, you did.
Yes. So we raised him, and we bargained with the sword, and we came up to a suitable agreement where he wouldn't... of course, as long as he killed, I think it was like one spellcaster a month or something. Which within the Forgotten Realms, we thought we could find an evil spellcaster once a month easily.
Well, yeah, you pretty much wandered to the next village.
Yeah. As long as we do that, he would agree and behave himself. And many weeks later, we encountered the Drider.
I remember the Drider, yes.
Yes.
Darkness spell.
Yes, cast darts on us, which confuses quite a lot. And cast Dominate on me and another player character.
Yes, it did. Now, one of the powers of the sword was that it had dark vision of 60 feet, didn't it?
Blindsight.
Blindsight.
Yeah. So you knew exactly where everyone was.
Yes, unfortunately I didn't.
So, memory serves, the Games Master kept lying to you on the location of the Drider compared to the location of the Wizard.
Yes, which meant that occasionally you would hear a horrendous cry of pain when I'd hit, and it would be that of the Wizard as opposed to the Drider.
Once again, separating player knowledge from character knowledge, because you know full well that the Drider wasn't there.
Yes.
The other thing was, the two dominated characters, myself and the other character included, were basically dominated into attacking the other party members, subduing them, so that they can worship as a Loth. Did I say pronounce it Loth? Loth?
Loth.
Loth.
Oh, I can't remember.
Either way, the drow goddess. And basically I went around trying to basically say, submit to Loth's will or you shall be punished.
Yes.
And the other player character did what?
Insisted on resisting it, if I remember rightly.
Continually.
Yes.
So his entire actions in the combat were rendered mute because he refused to accept that player versus player element to it. Refused to turn on the other party members.
Yes. Yeah, that's true because that particular player has an issue with doing anything that doesn't depict a character as anything other than hard as nails or the ultimate hero. It's essentially Dirty Harry with a sword. That is exactly how his character.
I'm just pondering Dirty Harry in a role-playing setting, but fair enough, in a fantasy setting as well.
Well, you know.
Yeah, did I fire 5 charges or 6? Do you feel lucky, punk?
I was showing 6 or 7 times. Am I gonna crit? Do you feel lucky, punk?
Right. So yeah, and it came down to a brawl between me and you, I think, play characters wise. You were defending, obviously, the low members of the party were not corrupted by this thing, and I was obviously powerhousing the whole issue. We must all submit to the will of love to advance the plot.
Yes. Yes. You may not resist the plot. There is no will save.
Yes. And I think in the end I killed you again.
You did, yes, because I got knocked prone and somehow you managed to miss on the first coup de grace.
Yes, because, well, 50% miss chance of complete darkness.
Yes, that was it. And then I believe you beheaded me.
Yes.
Yeah, which I think made it 2-0 at that point.
2-0, yeah.
Yeah.
And to my eternal shame, I should never have done this. Because
It was still funny.
It was still funny, yeah. But I think the campaign ended shortly after that. Not for any particular reason, just the GM couldn't run it anymore. We had to switch to something else. So the actual play versus play combat itself did not disrupt the game. It just a case of the GM couldn't run anymore. I think he changed his job or something like that.
Yes,
yeah,
it was that.
But there was I once said, and I should never have said this, was oh, I wanted to get 3-0 on you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I was going for a hat trick.
Mm.
But no, so yeah, there's examples in there of both good and bad play versus play combat. But obviously that's the physical aspect of it. Before we go on to the social aspect of it, can you think of any physical play versus play examples?
Physical player versus player examples. Just off the top of my head, no. Other than obviously the one we just discussed.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. All gone.
Fair enough. Right. Okay. On to okay. In that case, I'll let you have the first crack at the whip, as it were. Can you think of any examples of non-combat play versus player actions?
It depends whether
Why don't we talk about Silas DeVries?
Oh. Right. It's an old character of mine from
The current Ravenloft campaign.
the current Ravenloft campaign. Now,
which has a higher body count than I thought it would do.
yes, it's insanely high.
No, he's not.
Okay, I'm lying. He's actually so that he actually manages to fit his head out of the room afterwards. He's a decent gem. Now then, Silas DeVries had... Essentially, I decided to play him as a very power-hungry character. You know, sort of like... gather as many spells as you can, and etc, etc, to become as powerful as possible.
Rocky, get back on your bed.
Good boy. Now, during our travels, I had managed to get hold of the Crown of Souls.
Yes, you did.
Which
I have covered already as a major artifact. If you refer back to my Ravenloft videos, and you'll see examples of that being explained.
That's fine then. I don't have to go into that.
No.
Okay. Now then, with this, because of the description of it being, one of the abilities being, you can, via the use of placing it on somebody's head and performing a small short ritual, you can turn somebody into a, you give them the abilities of a, what was it?
Mighty Primal Warrior.
Mighty Primal Warrior. Now, unfortunately, when I did this, I was labouring under the misapprehension I hadn't got a Ravenloft head on.
What? Assume everything is bad.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, Wurzel Gummidge was wearing the head of the day at the time, right? So I hadn't got it. I got my.
You do realise most of the audience is never going to get that reference.
Get a culture. John Pertwee, guys. John Pertwee, Third Doctor. Get a life. Right. Apologies, anybody who actually has a life and doesn't watch 70s TV. But anyway, I'd assume that this would give them some kind of bonuses, like, you know, sort of ball strength sort of type things.
I believe at the time you thought it would give them barbarian abilities.
It might have been something as stupid as that, yeah. What it actually did was turn them into a goblin with a Y. Goblin with a Y is how I refer to them. It's
I'll put the spelling down here.
That's fine. Which is essentially a Ravenloft specific version of a goblin, which is, to be honest, just basically born again hard.
And eats your face.
Yeah. Which also unfortunately results in your character being taken off you.
Because it eats your soul.
Yeah.